Hi everybody, MJ here. Okay, I'm super excited about this walkthrough because I love making games. I love remixing games. I like finding games and doing things to them. And for this game, Gobo Friend Rescue, I'm going to remix it and show you how you can add a couple different things. So I'm going to try and add a score. I'm going to have some interactivity going on between these smaller characters and Scratch Cat, because as you can see when he moves around, nothing actually happens between them. And then I'm also going to go ahead and try and add some levels. And I think I have some good ideas as to how I'm going to do that. Okay, so let's go ahead and pause this. And we're going to see inside at all of the basic scripts that are going on in here. Okay, now looking at this right now, we've just got Scratch Cat moving 20 steps to the right and to the left. And then when we go on Giga, Nano, Pico, and Terra, basically they just look like they go to random places at the top and then go all the way down to the bottom. Once they've gone down to the bottom, they'll just go back up and keep doing it and doing it and doing it, which is fine, but we need a lot more. So to start us off, I'm going to hit Remix, and this is going to be my own version of the project. So instead of just leaving it as Gobo Friend Rescue, I'm going to go ahead and call it Gobo Friend Rescue MJ's Remix. Okay, now the first thing I feel like I need is some interactivity between these guys. And I actually think that when there's the interaction, that'll actually affect the score. So normally in a game like this, what I would envision is that when Scratch Cat actually touches one of these guys, there's a score and the score goes up. So the first thing I'm going to go ahead and do is add a score. And the way to do that is by going to data. And you have your variables here, you have score, and I can go ahead and set the score to 0 as soon as the game starts. So when green flag is clicked, I want to go ahead and show the variable score, which you can see when I hit the green flag, this pops up right here. Okay, so that's good, but I want the score to actually change by 1 every time Scratch Cat touches one of these guys. Okay, so I think what's going to happen with that is that on each of these individual sprites, as they're coming down to the bottom, I want them, if they touch Scratch Cat, to go ahead and not only go back up to the top, but then also change the score just by 1. So we're going to go ahead and have another control button, if and then we're going to go ahead and have a sensing block where I'm going to go ahead and say that if this particular sprite, which is Giga, is touching Scratch Cat, then the score is going to go ahead and change by 1. And I can go back to data and I can get just change score by 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and test that out. I want to see if this actually works. So we'll have it play. And when Scratch Cat hits Giga. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is that my score went up really, really fast. I don't want that to happen. So I'm going to actually go ahead and throw a wait block in right here. Okay, have wait 2 seconds so that when Giga touches Scratch Cat, it won't just keep touching and then keep having the score go up. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, good. Now the other thing is that Giga's just kind of sitting there. I don't want that either. What I want to happen is that as soon as Giga touches Scratch Cat, he goes back up to the top and then keeps going randomly down just like he was before. So I think this is what I can do. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy this block right here by using my duplicate option. Pull that down. So we'll put this here, drag this back up, and instead of wait 2 seconds, let's go ahead and throw this in instead. Okay, so theoretically, when Giga touches Scratch Cat, the score will change by 1, and then he'll go back to the place and do what he was doing before. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, perfect. So he's on his own, touches Scratch Cat. Good. Excellent. So he keeps coming back down, and the score just changed by 1. Perfect. Okay, so I can get rid of this wait block, and now what I should probably do is I should take these blocks and I should do the same thing in each of the other sprites, scripts areas as well. So I'm going to go ahead, first off, I have a lot left over in my backpack that I'm going to get rid of from earlier projects that I've been working on. It's important to keep your backpack as clean as possible so that you have space for everything. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw this in there. Okay, so now that I've got that in, I'll put it back. And let's go to each of the other sprites. So we'll go to Nano, and we'll throw this in there for him. Go to Pico, same thing. And go to Terra. Right, same thing, great. Okay, so now let's take a look and see if this changes. So at this point, all of them should be able to increase the score by 1 when they touch Scratch Cat. So let's give it a try. And I probably can't get all of them, so I'm just going to have to pick and choose. Awesome, yes. Okay, so I can just keep going around. Cool. I love it. Oh my gosh, it's raining men right now. This is crazy. Okay, excellent. Perfect. Great. I love the way that this is going right now. But one thing I'm noticing that I don't want to happen is that the score is not going back down to 0. And if we're trying to just go up, but once we start a game over, we want to go ahead and start at 0, we're going to have to put in a block that's going to do that. So I'm going to go back and go to Scratch Cat. And in addition to showing variable score, I also want to go ahead and set the score to 0. So let's try that out and see if it changes the score when the game starts. Perfect. Okay, so the score goes back down to 0. So as soon as it starts, everything can start going up from 0. But when I pause it and then I restart it, it goes back to 0 again. Okay, excellent. That's exactly what I want. And good. So we've got the interactivity, we've got the score. Now there's a couple of other things that I want to do. I want to do levels, but in addition to just doing levels, I want to create an easy level and I want to create a hard level that differ based on what the user actually chooses. And I think the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to have some messages being sent when the backdrop switches. Okay, so let me show you what I'm going to do. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to have 2 backdrops, and one's going to be our intro backdrop. Okay, so I've got right now backdrop 1 and a brick wall. So during the brick wall, I want an option for easy and hard, so the user can choose what they want to do. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to make 2 more sprites. So let's go ahead and just put easy. All right, and we're actually going to go ahead and make that a little bit bigger. All right, so that's our first one, easy. And then let's do another one. And we're going to just do hard. Okay, perfect. All right, so that being done, now we have 2 sprites and they read easy and hard. And actually, you know what? I want to go ahead and make sure that you can see these, so I'm just going to put them, put these guys to the side and pull these sprites out. Okay, so we have easy and we have hard. All right, now here's the thing. Most times in games, if you click on easy or you click on hard, it's going to trigger something to happen. So that's actually what I want to go ahead and do. So we're going to always go ahead and start on this brick backdrop. But then as soon as the user clicks easy or hard, it's going to trigger certain things. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our sprites and we're going to say, okay, so easy, we're going to do when green flag is clicked, we're going to go ahead and do switch to brick wall 1. Okay, so that's going to be the first backdrop that we start with. Okay, and then if the user actually goes ahead and clicks on easy, we'll go ahead and pull that one up next when the sprite clicked. I want to go ahead and trigger the action to take place. So what's going to happen is that it's going to broadcast a message, and then I'm going to use that message to trigger the easy level. So let's just go ahead and put that here. So broadcast message easy level. And I'll show you what we're going to do with this in a bit. So it's going to broadcast the easy level, and I also want to go ahead and have it switch to backdrop 1, which is just our regular white backdrop. Okay. Okay, great. Now the same thing is also going to happen for hard. So let's go back and do that. So we'll go to hard, and we don't have to say when green flag click because we already have that coded for easy. So we'll just go ahead and we'll say that when hard is clicked, that means that it's going to broadcast hard level. And we'll put that in. Okay, great. And then that'll also go ahead and switch the backdrop to backdrop 1. Put that up here. Okay, great. Now, we'll just go ahead and we'll have those be in the middle so it's really easy for the user to find. Okay? And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go back to Scratchcat and everybody else. So what this is going to mean is that I want all this to happen when things actually end up getting broadcast. So let's go ahead and let's do this first. So when I broadcast easy level, okay, oh, I'm sorry, not broadcast, when I receive easy level, first off, I want him to go ahead and show, okay, and then it's going to trigger everything, right? Okay, so, and then when right arrow is pressed, this is going to take place, and when left arrow is pressed, this is going to take place. But the other thing is that I want to make sure that he also does this when he receives hard level as well. So when he receives hard level, okay, we'll go ahead and we'll do a copy of this. Okay, the same thing will take place. All right, but I also want to make sure that when the green flag is clicked that he's not on the screen at the beginning. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I do have him hide when the green flag is clicked. But don't worry, he'll show when he receives the different messages. Okay, now the same thing for these guys, except this is going to be a little bit different because for these guys, I want them to actually move faster or slower depending on whether it's an easy level or a hard level. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm going to do. We're going to get rid of when green flag clicked. And instead we're going to do when I receive easy level, okay? And then we're also going to do when I receive hard level. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to copy and paste this exact part. So I'll duplicate it and put it down here, except that I'm going to leave easy level how it is, but for hard level, I'm going to go ahead and have them actually move a little bit faster. So right now it says they change Y by -10. Let's have them change by -20. Okay, so what that means is that they're going to be moving a lot faster, a lot faster, a lot faster. And I'm going to do the same thing for the rest of these guys. So for Nano, I'm going to go ahead and again do when I receive easy level, and then when I receive hard level. Okay, and we'll again duplicate. Make sure we add that down here. Change this to -20. Okay, now for Pico and Terra, I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to go ahead and manipulate it so they're moving a little bit faster than the other two on the hard level. The reason I'm going to do this is because I want to also make it additionally hard. Each of the different sprites are moving at different speeds, and it just makes it that much more complicated for the user to try and do. Okay, so again, we'll pick hard level. And we'll change this instead of -20, we'll do -30. That's going to be really fast. Okay, and then last but not least, for Terra, we'll do the same thing when I receive easy level, and then when I receive hard level. Okay, so again, we'll duplicate, and when we put that on, we'll go ahead and we'll change it to -30. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this a try. I think there's one more thing I'm going to have to do, but let's go ahead and start it off and see what happens. Okay, so I press, I hit easy. Okay, so here's the easy level. I can move these around. Excellent. And then last but not least, if I were to go back and do hard, they're moving a little bit faster. Fabulous. Perfect. Okay, now the last thing that I want to do is that I want easy and hard to disappear upon getting chosen. And then I also want to go ahead and have these guys disappear at the very beginning. Okay, so for each of these guys, if I go ahead and I hit when green flag click, and I just go ahead and put hide, theoretically they'll hide at the beginning, but then they'll show later when they receive the broadcast message. So let me go ahead and throw that in there for each of them. So we'll do hide. And then last but not least for Terra, green flag clicked and hide. Perfect. Okay. And then last but not least, for easy and hard, when this actually ends up happening, I want them to go ahead and hide after the backdrop is switched, all right? But then I'll have them show when green flag is clicked. We'll do the same thing for hard. We'll have him hide, but then when green flag is clicked, I want him to go ahead and show. Okay, final round. Let's go ahead and give this one more try. I think we're all ready. Let's go ahead and give it a go. Okay, fabulous. Easy and hard. Let's hit easy. Scores back down to 0. Clicking each of them. Okay, now hard's still here, so let's go ahead and make sure that that happens. So let's say that when hard receives easy level, it technically still is going to go ahead and hide. Okay? And then I also want to make sure when this one receives hard level that it also hides. That means that anytime that either one of the levels is chosen, both of them will still disappear anyway. One last time. Click. Excellent. And we'll try hard. Fabulous. Harder, going quicker. Excellent. Oh, I love this game. I'm proud of what I've done. I'm going to go ahead and share my remix, and anything that you want to do, you can go ahead and remix it, but make sure that you add those scores, get that interactivity, get those levels, because that's going to ensure that your game is absolutely fantastic and everyone's going to want to play it.